So they were just going for a run. No one revealed anything, but everyone revealed everything. Confused? Let me explain. Okay, so here you are, and you are a runner. Oh, you have big feet as well. And you go running every morning. And you log your runs on Strava. You coincidentally also work for the military. Now, what actually happened is you and your buddies every morning would go for your run, and I think it's better if I actually put a picture here rather than drawing it. But what happened is you shared these as you would normally share your data, your runs, all of these cool now filters that come along. Strava is something to be proud of, to look what I've done. And you shared that to a degree show off, but also be proud of yourself. And what happened, this is a while ago, but it happened in 2018. When Strava released their heat maps and their data of everyone that shared with Strava, there was information in these heat maps, as you can see here, where it revealed certain things that should not be revealed. And in this case, military bases. And people could look at the data and be like, oh, it's light over here. It means that lots of people are running in that area. Who's running in that area? You then go see this person here and this person. It's public knowledge that they are in the military. Therefore, revealing over the years how many times people have gone around this loop. And guess what? All of the people that log this data are in the military. This means that it must be a military base. Okay, so this story, and it wasn't a hack, it wasn't a data breach, it wasn't anything like that. This is where I got it from, this Wired, and it talks about Strava and these Strava maps. What happened is Strava took an aggregate of everyone that did their runs and put it on a heat map. And every route that was logged there was shared via the user's permission. They said, hey Strava, yeah, you can take my data. And I think what's not being told here correctly is that the soldiers, they didn't know that they were revealing the military base. This was a few years ago, so there were no rules around this kind of stuff yet, or no one really knew the impact of it. There was a big enough gap between logging your runs and disclosing a classified installation that wasn't supposed to be visible to anyone. And then when government saw this, they were like, oh, we need to be very careful about these recreational activities of everyone. First of all, let's gather as much data as we can about oppositions. And second of all, come on country, we can't do this anymore. So there are two different things happening when you log a run or you log a cycle on Strava. There's the data that you think you're producing, a fitness record, a route, your time, and some cool filter thing that you can paste on your Instagram to boast about your time and your route. And then also how fit you are and like how you're progressing in your training. And then there's another thing, what the data actually is. It's a timestamp, it's a location, a pattern of movement, proof that you were in a specific area at a specific time. And those two things, they're a little bit different. And the difference lies in the fact that you don't think about the latter when you are going for your morning run. And this is where the soldiers made this mistake. They were just going for their run. And what they created was location disclosures of classified military bases. The same data, but two different things entirely. And that's what happens when you aggregate the data together. So there's a concept in intelligence that classifies this, and it's called metadata. And metadata is simply just data about data. The content of the phone call is the data. The fact that you made the call to someone at a particular time and for how long, that's the metadata. And a simple example here is if you look behind me, there's a sign over here. You probably can't read it, but it says Tram 19 is about to be installed here. And if you read that, if we dig deeper into that, you'll find out exactly where I'm standing. That's metadata, because the data here is me talking to you about data. The metadata is information like that, kind of. Normally, it would be in the back of your video or your picture, you would actually have location data. It's the reason why Apple can place all of your pictures on a map and be like, oh, this is where you were. It's because it captures the metadata. And there's always been this argument to say that metadata is some sort of surveillance on people. Because people would argue that, you know what, it's not the contents of the envelope, it's the envelope itself. Therefore, it's not actually surveillance. And others would be like, with the envelope, you know exactly where they live. So the debate is still ongoing as to what to do with metadata and if we should collect it at all. And here, a run on Strava is data about your body, but the metadata is about where you were, at what time, and for how far you went, and how often you do that route. So it hasn't stopped. In 2025, so last year, a Swedish newspaper tracked about 1,400 workouts by 7 bodyguards, protecting the Swedish royal family and the Prime Minister. These routes revealed his classified home address, unannounced government meetings, and the royals' family holiday in the Seychelles. And the bodyguards, they were just logging personal fitness data on their own personal account. But when you're looking for information, it's very easy, and that's why a journalist went out and said, hey, let's find these bodyguards and let's see what they've got to show us. And another example, in 2023, a Russian submarine commander was actually killed on a run. And his last Strava workout had actually been liked by Ukrainian military intelligence before he actually went out. And closer to home, in 2026, literally March, so last month, in the world that we are currently living in, and I'm going to call it a war that's currently happening. A French officer, mistake or not, logged a Strava workout on a carrier ship that was carrying aircrafts to be deployed in the Eastern Mediterranean for the ongoing war. And this revealed that the ship was in the way. He had his, the tracking, IAS or something. I'll put the correct thing here. That ships usually have on to show other ships where they are. He had that turned off because of the sensitivity of the war. But his Strava revealed everything everybody needed to know. And this is not a hack or a breach or anything. This is data publicly shared by anyone, by the people. But it's just used differently because people find it. So these people were soldiers and bodyguards, and these people were trained security officers, which means they should have had some sort of knowledge around this, right? But the gap between seeing the data you capture now and how it will be used is not that obvious. And I'll give you a good example. How many of you guys played Pokemon Go in 2016? I did. It was a great time. And you would hold up your phone and you would take pictures in this AR thing and catch your Pokemon. Now, in 2026, 10 years later, Niantic, I don't know if I'm pronouncing the name correctly, has announced that they're going to use all of those picture data and the location data of famous landmarks and everything that you used and where you captured all your Pokemon to help delivery robots. Because they have a crap ton of pictures of the real world collected by you and I, not knowing that that's what they would be potentially used for. We just thought we were capturing a Pikachu or a Clefairy. And the lucky few, Gyarados. And there's something, I think they said, about 30 billion images of the real world. And that's not just of the real world in New York or these famous places. It's like everywhere. I was in South Africa and I was playing the game. And now this data is being used by those like robotic delivery cars to figure out when there's a step and when there's not a step and how to navigate to give you your food. Who knows what else they're going to be used for, but this is the first instance of that data. And you and I, playing the game, knew we were like scanning the landmarks with our phones because we could see it. But no one told us that we were actually scanning the world for autonomous vehicles. And maybe closer to home if you didn't play Pokemon, your Uber rides, your Google Maps, your supermarket loyalty card. Each one is just a simple transaction. You're using the app to get to ADB or buying your food. But with each of those, there's a pattern. that data point, it reveals something when aggregated together with others, or aggregated with your own information just over time. And the thing is, we all just shared this about ourselves. We didn't think further than, oh, this is my run, or I want the discount at the supermarket, or I need to get to work, so let me put on Google Maps. We didn't think further. And I don't think it's our fault, because why would we? Like, we don't know where the future's gonna go, but it is going places. And it's scary, but it's also kind of cool to see how people are using the information that we generated for things. Let's not go down the large language model hole. But yeah, so you're generating data. I guess it's just up to who sees that data and what they do with it that dictates what that data can mean. This is not to scare people. The average human, like me and you, probably doesn't have anything to worry about. But it is something just to be aware of the data that you share publicly. Anyway, it is Thursday and tomorrow is a public holiday, so it's technically a Friday. I will see you then tomorrow.